welcome to the third episode of Hype School as we give you behind the hype insight into everything we do here in growing the residency brand and how we establish the brand and where we're going. Sure. So on this episode, obviously we got the guys, we got Zach, we got myself, Angelo, and we got Andrew. And on this episode, we're going to talk a little bit, give some real life insight and some truth.
For sure, a lot of it.
Into a large collaboration with obviously a billion-dollar company.
Yeah.
So on this episode, we're talking a little bit about our collaboration with Predator, which is a large gaming brand, gaming PC, gaming electronics brand, if you guys aren't aware. We'll definitely shoot the link at the bottom of this video so you guys can take a look at it. But they're part of the Acer brand. You may know them well, electronic company, computers. They have everything that you could ever imagine from electronic space. So once again, a huge shout out to Predator and Acer on this collaboration. But we wanted to talk a little bit about it. Yeah. So obviously we started it, right?
For sure.
So we've grown the brand. We've given them some insight into some of the things we've done on the first two episodes of Hype School. But now we felt we needed to diversify, right? And we didn't just want to be a hat brand. No. Yeah, you can get into clothing, things like that. But we felt in our vision there was so much more we needed to do.
100%.
Right? 100%. And how to diversify. And that's how we diversified, right? Was starting this collaboration with Predator. So talk to them a little bit about how we got into this collaboration and how it happened.
Yeah, I mean, you hit me talking about video gaming and how the gaming sector was so big and it was obviously an untapped market that we weren't really, tapping into. Yeah. And then a lot of what we saw is a lot of the players and NFL players who actually wore our hats were wearing our hats while they were playing video games. Yep. There was a picture of Max Crosby literally at the draft they had here in Vegas. He was playing Madden with an LV hat backwards. We saw a lot of customers, after they would obviously make their own purchases, they'd get their own content and take pictures of them playing video games with hats on. And so it kind of was like a perfect fit. But, you brought to my attention that, hey, this is something that we need to tap into. And
yeah. So we honestly are the ones that we can tell the joke, right? But in 2020 through the pandemic, when everybody was obviously on lockdown, Zach has this running joke with me. Like, Angelo, I remember when it was Call of Booty, not Call of Duty.
Yeah. So, you come a long way. You're a family man.
I am a family man a little bit now. But me and Andrew were playing a lot of Call of Duty.
And I also used to joke with y'all, the only way to get y'all to respond is if I actually jumped on Call of Duty. And I hit y'all in the group chat, nobody hit me back. I hop on Call of Duty, I'm getting 20 responses. So I'm like, damn, do I have to play video games and talk to my partners? Like, Jesus Christ.
We used to say that was our weekly meeting.
That was our weekly meeting with the little headset. But we saw how big the gaming industry was growing, how big the gaming sector really was, and you saw first full circle moment.
I did. So kind of backtrack, man. In my previous life, I worked as a business director for a tech company. So I had, obviously a lot of connections in the tech space. Obviously, even at Acer, Apple, TCL, Vizio, all these different companies that, used to be my clients. But, obviously there was a person at Acer who kind of helped me, facilitate this collaboration. But the point of that for people looking, man, is like I never big time anybody, like I told y'all, man. So no matter what level you are in a company, right, I'm still making connections and showing people the strength of relationships. Yep. Because, obviously you got to have a great product, but a lot of times that relationship or that reaching out to that person who may not even be in the role you need, they may not even be the decision maker, but they can be the facilitator. And that's basically who my guy was,
Yeah, and going back to the first episode, we talked a lot about, you can have all the vision in the world. Yeah, I saw the gaming sector growing, but great, I had this idea. But you really bring the manifestation to life in that full circle moment.
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing to bring to life, right? Especially with such a large corporation.
Totally. Because you got the hoops, sometimes it's the channels they have to work through. Like you may see the vision that they don't even see because it's something new that they just haven't simply, quite frankly, done before.
Yeah, so partnering with these large corporations, right? How do you get in that door? How do you build that? It's not easy. No. But these large corporations definitely see different lifestyle markets. For
sure.
Right? And that they also know that they can't stay in these one lanes. No. Acer, Predator can't just do gaming, can't just do technology, but they have to expand.
Yeah, you can even see, like, even the CES, when I went to their booth, that they're really trying to create this whole lifestyle, even with their products. From the environmental products to the gaming products, just literally making it where, like, hey, this is a part of your lifestyle and really your ecosystem as a person. Because if I can get you in that ecosystem of a brand, then you're more loyal and you're really not going to leave because you're stuck in this eco. It's too much. It's too hard of a transition. Yeah. If somebody's just buying a one-off, you're like, oh, okay, well, I got a bunch of different one-offs. But when you got somebody in the ecosystem, you really got them as a customer. Yeah. And I think these big brands see that, and they see the only way to do that is to create that whole lifestyle play.
Yeah. And here's the thing. On Hype School, we really want to give you the behind the scenes, right? And what really happened, how you film these videos, what kind of calls we were on. So we're going to talk a little bit now about the calls, right? Let's talk a little about these calls and how personal life can't get in the way.
No.
You have to outwork your personal life, right? If you're trying to grow a multi-million-dollar business, outwork your personal life. They don't care.
Not at all.
People shouldn't care.
No.
These athletes don't care.
That's true.
So let's talk a little bit about the calls we were on, how that worked, and tell them a little bit about it, Andrew.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. So like as soon as that happened, right, when we got that call, when Zach got that call where we had to start moving, you know, they're located in Taiwan, right? So that's a whole completely different time zone. They're waking up when we're going to sleep. So all our meetings were.
I'm still on Call of Duty playing it. It was 1 a.m. I was heavy in the sticks already.
Yeah, I think it was ended and yours was just
Started.
But I think to Andrew's point, man, like they're not trying to hear anything. You've really got to be flexible and being aware. And then people's situation where they just don't. It's not their job to do your job. It's not their job to understand. Even language barriers, time, all the different stuff we had to go through. Really, just
you even use some phrases to make it personal.
Yeah, just trying to, man, really just trying to that's my thing, man. Make it relationship based and just find ways to connect. I'm not fluent in Mandarin, but I know a couple words just to make the guy feel comfortable. Yeah, that opened up a door, and then now we got a conversation, and you're just trying to break down those walls. So when you do go pitch an idea, it's not so cold. Yep. Because you've gotten some type of familiarity.
And it's still from a meaningful place. I think that's something that's so important.
Yeah.
Is that it's not bullshit.
Nah.
It's still from a meaningful place. But hey, let's make this a comfortable conversation.
For sure.
Right? And collaboration.
And I think guiding them on the steps, because a lot of times when these bigger corporations are working with newer companies, it's not that they don't want to move as fast, but sometimes they can't just because of the corporate protocol that they have to go through, or the approval, or the process, right? And so I think just knowing how to guide them in, okay, what's next? What do we do next? What does good look like? We've done a startup. But for people working in bigger corporations, they might have just got hired at that job. They didn't actually start Acer.
True.
So when you're walking through with them, it's like, okay, no offense, you obviously are super professional, but we've got actually more startup experience. Let me guide you or kind of court you on what next steps and what good looks like. Yeah. Because they've just been hired in a role, and they haven't come from a startup standpoint.
Yeah, and just from the outwork in your personal life, right? They don't care about that, nor do they have to, right, in this collaboration. Yeah. Honestly, do you want this moment or not? Yeah. Do you want this collaboration or not? Right, like to tell the story, right? We originally had the photo shoot for the collaboration announcement video on a Friday. It was scheduled. We had the shoot all ready. We had our camera guy all set. And my wife all of a sudden comes in the room and is like, hey, it's baby time. And my daughter was born that day. But still 2 days after we still went and shot it. While my wife was still in the hospital, baby had just come out, popped out, gave her a little kiss, but Papa had to go work. For sure. Right? And that's the thing about outworking it. They don't need to know that. No. And just continuing to outwork
and even at the photo shoot, it was work. I mean, y'all basically remodeled this whole house. I mean, it was like a double job.
Talk a little bit about the remodel. Honestly, we became interior designers of that spot.
Yeah, we saw a vision when we walked in there. It looked great, don't get me wrong, Airbnb, but we had a different vision that we wanted to accomplish, and we just ended up moving everything into one room.
And then had to move it back.
Yeah, and move it back.
Right. But we were there all day.
I think the Airbnb host saw y'all on camera like, what are y'all
What are you guys doing? Just we're making your interior design a little better. We're going to get a couple clips shown, obviously, of the video and of that announcement video of what we did. But honestly, all the great work with Predator and their collaboration there on that. But you obviously talked a little bit about the follow-up and having to follow up with the marketing people. But what did that look like? You went to CES.
Yeah, so it's several different follow-ups, right? So the first thing you have to realize, man, anytime you're dealing with these larger corporations, you've got to find out all the internal pieces of, who works where, who reports to who, and essentially how do you help them make themselves look better at their role, right? Because they're giving you a chance to kind of help bring this collaboration to life, but you're trying to do, right, hey, you don't want to just get the deal and be stuck. You want to grow the deal and nurture the relationship within. So long story short, man, it was just so many different people I kept getting passed to. And so I just took the initiative on my own. Obviously, CES is every year here in Vegas. I knew my buddy was going to be at CES at the booth. I just basically came with the care package. at the booth, introduced myself, complete cold
But
call.
a cold call,
Yeah,
exactly.
literally a cold call.
Like another cold
and
call.
I knew a couple people
Even
in
though
the
you're
room,
in the room already.
but I'm trying to get the person who can really help me with marketing, because the marketing person is the one who's going to help me bring this vision to life. Anytime you're dealing with a company in Asia, they got a U.S. headquarters, so it's almost like you got two contacts in the same role. Who's the Asia person? Who's the U.S. person? But long story short, my goal for that cold call was to get a marketing person who controlled the social media, somebody who could help bring this content to life, and quite frankly, show them what we had done. So
and what we're capable of.
Totally. So
right?
when I came to the booth, I literally had pictures already showed of George Kittle wearing these hats, Mike McGlinchey wearing these hats, Elijah Mitchell, and saying, look, this collaboration's done great, but I can only do so much with my bandwidth.
Let's be real. If we have $1 billion push,
come on, right? I mean, this is what I've done just with the budget I've had and the resources, but we're trying, and we sold out. It was super hype product. I mean, celebrities have worn it. I'm doing my part, but I need y'all to reinforce the collaboration.
Yeah,
because customers, that's what they want to see. Okay, you say you got a collaboration. Well, show me a real working collaboration. It can't just be one-sided.
But even before CES, I mean, we pulled up on them in San Francisco.
We did.
At their headquarters.
Yeah, in San Jose, right? So we were out there at the San Jose office in the Silicon Valley, and they gave us a great tour, right? And honestly, it was a beautiful tour. The office looked great, but they're working just like our small business,
correct?
Right? But with them, they have to jump through some hoops and loops and go through all these different things, and I think that's what they appreciated about us, is we were professional at the same time, but could get things done faster through approvals.
And came with ideas, came with solutions, and to a certain extent, like we said, they haven't done startups. They're selling a great product, but sometimes even people at big corporations, they struggle with lifestyle.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the reason why they wanted to partner with us, right?
Absolutely.
Because we brought that vision to life, and we had those real relationships.
Yeah.
I think when we first, launched the collaboration, at least over 50 people reposted on social media and, actually like wearing the hat. So that was my goal.
It was one of our highest viewed videos. That collaborative video was still to this day one of our highest viewed videos.
Yeah, I think just that gaming whole market is.
Yeah, and that's where I wanted to talk a little bit about the product and how the approvals went. Right? We had an idea. Predator and Acer had an idea of the product, and we felt they were a little bit out of touch, right, with who the market was going to be and the vision that we wanted to. We had to find a middle ground and find that balance. They had come up with an idea at first, and we won't go into too many details of it, but it was a little left field that we didn't feel would sell out, and we did sell out. So thank you to all you guys for helping with that sellout, right?
And I think the courting that relationship and understanding that, like, for anybody out there watching, right, not undervaluing yourself or underselling yourself short, right? You may be the big corporation, right? But I'm still going to show you what has worked well for us, because, like I said, no offense, you haven't done a startup. We have. So don't just try to force a product on me that you want me to push, and not being afraid to walk away if it's not the right fit. Like, at the end of the day, our brand, our name is all we have. I'm not just going to peddle stuff just to sell it, just to get the deal done. If it's not mutually beneficial or right fit, and that's sometimes that's hard to have a conversation with a $1 billion company. But once you say you stand on what you believe in, they're like, hey, this guy's not going to budge. They've got a point here. They've really got the startup experience. I think they listen, man, because I know if we'd gone with the initial route that they wanted,
I don't know if we would have sold out.
Not at all. I don't know if our.
And to your point, we were very solution oriented in this. We came with the samples back. We had the courage to make sure that we stood up to this $1 billion company and let them know we're not going to put our name on it. To your point, unless we make sure that we have something that resonates with our team and what we want to do.
So Andrew today is actually wearing the Predator LA that you guys see, but when we specifically made this product, we made it with the gamer in mind.
Yeah.
We didn't want to make a fake product, right? And we understood, that Predator also, it needed to make sense for Predator.
Totally.
So when we obviously created this product, this is obviously the SF Predator, we made it with a moisture wicking material. Whether you want to believe it or not, esports is different than physical sports, maybe, but you sweat, right?
You do.
And when you wear the hat backwards, we did it specifically.
Especially you getting your ass beat in the game. You're sweating a lot.
A lot. I'm a sweat on Call of Duty, to be clear. But, even when you're wearing your headset, and Mike, you need it to be comfortable. But this transitioned onto the field, you were saying. How did that happen?
So, I think for a lot of guys, back to your point, the sweating, working out, kiddo guys like that, catching the ball, running, his hat doesn't fly off their head. They got long hair. They can put their hair through it. I think it still has a relatively high crown, so that it kind of gives them that curved brim look that they want to see with a fashionable hat. But I think really it was just one of those hats where they could work out in it. It wasn't hot, and they could get a lot of use out of it.
Smooth transition.
Smooth transition. Seamless, absolutely seamless. Yeah, no, absolutely. So, look, I started on an iPad gaming, then went to a PS4, then went to a PS5.
That was rough.
But to talk about the Predator PC, Predator obviously.
We
need another?
We need another one.
Predator, what's up? We need another one. But
Untitled
they gifted us obviously some gear that you guys saw in that collaborative video.
Yeah.
Make sure you check it out if you haven't seen it. But they gifted us obviously a Predator gaming PC, which is top notch, honestly. Absolutely top notch. Has definitely made the kill death ratio gone up.
That's why I need a second one.
That's why we need another one.
You're getting a little too good.
But we do stream weekly on YouTube Gaming, so make sure to check out our channel. But is there any other information we want to share?
The only thing I can say is really just, like I said, double down on the working relationships and the collaborations, like back to the streaming point. Okay, yeah, we did a deal with the company. Yeah, we got some product to some celebrities, but now we're bringing all that to life and letting actually athletes and other people hop on this gaming with you.
Yep.
Right? You know, whether they wear the Predator hat or not, like it's a living, breathing,
full
working
lifestyle
relationship. It's not just a one and done. And I think that's the exponential, potential that we could bring to really any partnership. It's not just a one quick photo shoot.
Yep.
It literally is like, hey, this is the product, but now let's bring it to life in the real world.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the next episode when you guys continue to tune into Hype School. So for the 4th episode, what you're going to see on Hype School is creating a lifestyle brand and what we've done to create that lifestyle brand. So we're going to be talking a little bit on the next episode, giving some more game, some more insight. But we appreciate you tapping in and obviously checking in with us for Hype School. Much love.